Personal data are the information that can be used to locate, identify, or contact a person. Some examples of personal data are personal name and address, government-issued IDs, and personal health information. There are specific laws and regulations when it comes to the usage of personal data. And different regions and countries have their own specific requirements. HIPAA is US federal law and regulates protected health information, or PHI. GDPR is European privacy regulation to protect European citizens' personal information. CCPA is similar to GDPR, but it is US, California's specific privacy law. And other countries like Australia, Japan, China, and a lot of other countries, they have their own privacy regulations as well. Personal data should be gathered and used responsibly. There are some principles that we will talk about those principles in the next slide. The other important thing when it comes to companies and organizations who deal with personal information is the incident response process and data breach notification. It's by law required that companies inform government and regulators when there is a breach of personal data, and they must also have an incident response plan in place. So when gathering personal information, there are a few important principles that we're going to go through them here. Collecting personal data only for valid reasons. Do not collect any personal data for something that is not necessarily a valid. Collecting only the minimum data that is needed. So we need to make sure that we're not collecting anything more than what we really need to work with. Using personal data as permitted. So it's important to use the personal information as it is permitted by the owner. Informing individuals as why the data is collected. It's important to let the individuals know why we are gathering the personal information and how we're going to use them. Obtaining individual permission about why the use of data is required and where. Securing the personal data, that is probably one of the most important things. If you're gathering personal information and sensitive information, we are basically responsible to secure that data as well. Maintaining data accuracy, completeness, and up-to-date. Integrity of the data is our responsibility as well if we are gathering personal information. Informing individuals as who this data will be shared. If we are sharing this data with someone, potentially outside of the company, third parties, someone that is not necessarily allowed by default, we need to make sure that we're informing individuals. And deleting the data on a valid request. If someone wants their personal information to be deleted from our system, we should be doing that, and we should have a process to do that.